What's going on, guys? It's Broomstick here. So went ahead and went to the wedding, so we're gonna do a little part 2. So this is called Disaffected Young Man Goes to Catholic Wedding or something like that, right? It was a really good time. I mean, I had fun. I was surprised by how much I drank, honestly. I hadn't drank like that in quite a while. I was drinking like I was in college again, where I kind of like forget the number of drinks I have. You know, there's an open bar and everything. But I was also very good about drinking water, like eating some food. And when I got back we got back after the wedding, the group of us had an Airbnb. I just drank like a little bit of that liquid IV, not the full thing. I think it gets too sweet when you put the full thing in there. But man, just a little bit of that liquid IV, and then eat something substantial. Like it doesn't have to be health food, but even just eating. I ate 3 chicken soft tacos from Taco Bell and a couple potato soft tacos. Dude, I felt fine. Like I even woke up without a hangover or anything. So I don't know. I kind of almost want to get back into drinking now. And then, you know, the other thing too is I normally like green out when I do weed and alcohol. And so I've kind of became more of a like pick one or the other kind of thing. And, you know, I just pick the weed every time. It kind of guarantees no hangover and stuff. So, but I didn't have that issue last night, you know. So I think I'm just figuring out more things about my health. I can maybe be a bit more, I can have a little bit more fun than I thought, I think. The wedding itself, I mean, like, here's my thing, right? I wasn't really there to talk. Like, I hate the whole, these guys, there's so many, like, normie guys out here where, like, every time you travel, every time you do whatever, it's like some situation to get laid. It's like some kind of opportunity to get laid. Oh man, it's just I won't understand these people. And most of them, some of them it works, you know, some of them have that mentality and it works for them. But most of them, it's just this like ongoing pipe dream that like lives in the back of the mind. So me, I wasn't talking to no women or nothing at the wedding. Love is in the air, Broomstick, love is in the air. No. All I did, guys, is I made it a point to talk to the brothers on both sides of the family. You know, I knew both sides of the family for this wedding. So when I just, you know, I met those brothers before and just kind of, you know, made sure to say hey to them again and just have a little convo, and they're good guys. And a lot of them are actually spoken for, or I guess they have fiancés, right? One of them is really interesting. So one of them is their fiance is a tribe member, a Care Bear, I'm pretty sure. And I was trying to, you know, a lot of people in our friend group are like questioning Care Bear Land. Like, Care Bear Land's very unpopular with our friend group. I mean, we don't really talk about it. There's maybe like 1 or 2 people I can think of who'd maybe be pro Care Bear Land in the whole friend group of, you know, 20 or so people. But you know, the thing is, Care Bear Land's very unpopular, and I was trying to say something about, like, because they were like, oh hey, I think his fiance is a Care Bear, and I said something. I was like, oh well, you know that I didn't go into the whole like bloodline thing, but I was just like, oh, you know, like, you know, in some sects of Care Bearism, that it's matriarchal, you know. And I didn't say this last part, but I mean, it's true that the bloodline passes through the women in Care Bear religions, in most Care Bear religions, I think, at least. So, you know, that coupling is set to create a fine new Care Bear into the world. You know what I'm saying? It's different, you know, it's different when, if it's just some male Care Bear mirroring out. I think it's way different, because you're just creating another, goy if it were. But yeah, I thought that was some interesting tea. I thought that was quite interesting. The wedding meal was quite disappointing, honestly. It was the steak I had a ton of like fat in it and stuff. But it was all right. You know, the mashed potatoes were great, and I kind of wish I had a little bit more food. I wish it was a bit more of a buffet. The desserts were amazing. They got some of the best ice cream in the area catered, and then the birthday cake was phenomenal. Or not birthday cake, wedding cake, I guess, technically, right? But it was, it was a buttercream cake. It was literally Broomstick's favorite dessert. Yeah, so I had a good time with all of that. I really appreciated going. There was like a ceremony and then a reception, and the ceremony was actually bringing me back to the house of God. It was in the Catholic Church. If you guys don't know, Broomstick was actually raised Catholic, and it was good. I like being there again. Like, I got a good feeling being back in the church for my first time in a few years. Like, I think churches, guys, you can't go there with this expectation that, like, oh, you're going to meet the one, you're going to meet women with virtue. And I think that's so untrue in today's society. I think that's gigacope. But if you're not doing it to meet a mate or nothing like that, kind of just like as a protest to godlessness, like, to protest the godlessness of society, I think that being in the church maybe isn't the worst, maybe it's not a bad idea. I really enjoyed my time there. Do I see myself going back to church every week? No. A weekly commitment, guys, that's a lot, That's a lot. The time pill is insane. Like, I made that video, running out of time matters or something like that. I don't know if I have the time to. That's 60 hours a year going to God, because it's honestly not just it's not just the, you got to think about your travel time. It's not just the hour you're in the church. It's more than just that. Yeah, guys, it's brutal, man. I don't know, but I liked being there, guys. It brought me back to my roots. I remember seeing, the 12 stages of Jesus going on the cross. The church had decorations showing the 12 steps, and just all the ornaments, the stained glass windows, the songs. It was beautiful. I really enjoyed. And it was weird because I'm singing, I'm saying the prayers, and I think it caught some of my friends off guard because they didn't know I was raised Catholic or whatever. And the ghost of Charlie Kirk was wanted me to be there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Also, I was really impressed. Our friend group, they have some fiancés now. I didn't really know about them, or some of them are in long-term relationships. I didn't really know they got into long-term relationships. But that's what happens when you live in different cities or whatever. I think what's really interesting is, these people can just kind of come to the wedding. I don't know how I'm trying to say this. They weren't there from the beginning. They weren't, it's just oh, this is my date to the wedding. And it's this girl that only so much of the friend group is known about or whatever, right? And that's fine. They're welcome, of course. And if anything, that's kind of a thing I'm sure my friend is doing to kind of vet the girl, see how they interact with the friend group, yada yada. But it's just interesting to me. And we were talking about, we split an Airbnb, and there's bedding, right, and all that stuff. And let me give you guys this example of one thing that happened, right? So one couple came in late. They came in, we were there the weekend, right? Friday and Saturday night. And one couple came in just for Saturday night. And what I thought was interesting was two people in the friend group got displaced from their bed in place of the couple. And I thought that was really weird because it wasn't just some random draw straws people from the friend group. I noticed it was two of the kind of more autistic guys of the friend group were the ones kind of okay, you got to find a spot on the couch, or you got to, sleep on the air mattress or couch cushion or whatever. Because, the bed's going to go to this couple. They're coming in tonight. And just that kind of default couple privilege kind of thing that's assigned. I've noticed that in our friend group where it's and it doesn't make sense, right, to draw straws, and then it's okay, now the couple has to sleep on the couch. I want to give that gratuity where it's yeah, if I'm the single male, I should be on the couch. That's just how it should be. But yeah, at the same time, I don't know, it's just when you go on enough of these group trips, you kind of, you notice things it's always the same person who gets the whatever bedroom. You know what I'm saying? That is kind of an issue. And it's always like the same person on the couch and all that stuff. I do tend to be the person on the couch, but it's not like the worst deal ever, because I remember I got a very, when we lived together in college, I got a very like nice room in the house. Like I was very happy with the room I got and the space and all that. So and it was one where I kind of had to negotiate for it. Like there was people kind of wanted that room, and I kind of had to be like, are you okay in here, yada yada. Like, you know, we had to kind of like make deals, and then I kind of had to present points about like, hey, I do tend to be on the couch, or I tend to get the smaller room, can you let me have this one thing? And you know, I got that one thing, and you know, that was a 2-year thing. So it's not like I'm gonna, you know, we Airbnb for like 2 nights and I just have to sleep on the couch 2 nights. Like, what, am I gonna fucking throw a fit? No, me personally not. But I thought it was interesting how one of these autistic guys who was displaced by this couple made that point, where it's like, hey, you know, in our friend groups and all this, these couples just have privileges, and we know all kinds of privileges that couples kind of have. The workplace, for one, you know, you're much less likely to be fired if they know you have a wife, they know you have kids. They're gonna view you as a more reliable employee, not for the best reasons, but because they see you as someone who's dependent on the company. Me, Broomstick, I have you know, well over $20,000 like saved up, liquid assets, whatever you want to call it. You know, I have my own transportation. I don't have debt. Like, I'm single male. Like, these kinds of things about Broomstick make me someone who can kind of just take off if I feel disrespected by the company, if I don't feel like I'm getting paid enough. I mean, this happened in real life one time with, I quiet quit a company because they cut my overtime and they cut back on some of my pay, you know. So companies just won't treat you as well. Like, you see this couple privilege all the time in life, and yeah, it's just, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I had fun at the wedding, guys. It was fun to kind of get crossfaded, dance, and all that stuff. One thing I thought was interesting was you know, at the wedding, I'm kind of leaving the area, because the wedding took place on a place where they didn't like allow smoking, right? So I'm leaving like the wedding venue, and I see this sign that says no alcohol beyond this point, and I'm like, okay, you know, because you're approaching the parking lot. It says no alcohol beyond this point. Behind like this house, like you couldn't really see it, it was very secluded, was a very clear cop car posted up right there, kind of like in the sting position. If you guys don't know what that is, you guys know like cops hiding behind billboards or whatever. It's kind of this thing of like, okay, don't stay in the direct periphery of someone trying to go down the road, try to kind of catch them off guard. And I didn't even have any alcohol on me, but I was like, man, I was honestly just going to the parking lot to hit my weed pen. And I was just like, man, I don't even want to deal with this cop. So I probably couldn't hit my weed pen as much as I'd like during the whole thing. But I just, you know, I stuck a couple in there. Just get the little crossfade going. Yeah, it was so much fun. Just getting crossfaded, dancing like that. I had a ton of fun. Obviously, all my friends were there, made it really fun. The only thing missing was the huzz, honestly. If there was a lot more single huzz kind of being thrown around, you know, I'd be a little bit more into it. But it was just fun as is, and it was kind of nice being able to like act a fool, you know, not have to worry about the huzz in a way. That's kind of underrated, honestly. It's like that meme of like when you and your homeboy are in the same class and all the huzz are chopped, they're chuzz, so then you're able to you know, act a fool in the class. You know, you don't got to worry about what the chuzz thinks. But yeah, I don't know, it was good. Like I hopefully these people you know, I stay in touch with them kind of my whole lifetime, more or less. I'm all right with we don't have like consistent contact now, but this whole getting together, even just a couple to a few times every year and having a few group chats together, I think this is sufficient. Like I'd like to stay in touch with them, but I'm not gonna press to. I tended to be that guy who's like, hey guys, let's get this trip out the group chat. But I don't want to be that guy. I'm tired of just asking for shit, man. Like, it's that thing, you know, guys, you get together, you're all dressed up and stuff. It's like, let's get pictures. Because, you know, we're single guys. We have dating accounts. We have social medias. We got, bro, no pictures ever get done unless I am the one who like asks for it. And the other thing is like, women friends do this all, it's just natural. They're like, hey, high quality pictures, let's best represent ourselves for like the social media realm. Like, it's inherent for them. But in these like male dominated friend groups, bro, it's just impossible. So yeah, you know, I kind of hate having to ask for shit, because I'm normally always asking for a picture. I'm done asking for shit, guys. It's just I can't anymore. So yeah, those are my honest thoughts about the wedding. Just, you know, I think they're positive. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, love is real, bro. And you know, this couple will be fine. They've known each other since they were 18, so they actually have like puppy love potential. And they've dated at least like 6 years, you know, officially so known each other for like 3-4 years, dated for like 6, you know, they'll be fine. Yeah, man, they'll be there. You know, they have the similar values of Catholicism and all that too, and I think that is kind of a plus. I think that religion is like soft proofing your marriage, but it's not hard proof. Hard proofing would be like not getting married in the first place, or hard proofing would be like a prenup. But you can't really hard proof your marriage, man. But the other thing I think is good about these two is, if anything, I think the girls, the bride's family is slightly wealthier than the guy's family, just slightly, maybe not like massively, but you know, they're both well off. You know, they can provide for their extensive amount of kids. I remember one of the fathers even quoted, like, you know, the be fruitful and multiply verse during. But yeah, that was the thing, guys. I made a point to go up to both dads of, you know, the bride and the groom and say, good to see you again. You know, kind of reintroduce myself. And just say, hey, thanks for planning this. I know this took a lot of work, and I'm having a lot of fun. And I think if you guys can go say that to kind of like the patriarch or whatever it is of both families, I think that makes you kind of like an upstanding guy. I think it's a good thing to do for an event like this. And eventually I got around to doing it. Maybe had to take some drinks before getting the liquid courage to go over there and just kind of like cold approach someone's father like that. But another thing too, guys, is this whole thing. I can see how this whole, like, how much do I think this wedding cost? Probably at least $10K. Like, it wasn't the most expensive wedding ever, but the ceremony, the outfits, the dinner, renting out the venue, that cop might have even been like private security. You know, I'm not even saying that cop was just there to sting people. It might have even been paid for by the whole thing, you know. So all that, you know, probably at least 10K, right? And my whole thing, if I'm being more, maybe 20K. Isn't the average wedding nowadays like 20K? You know, I'm not saying there's tons of people here, but including the employees, I think maybe max 100 people at the venue, including like maybe 15 to 20 employees. So, and a lot of old people, guys. A lot of like second cousins, people of all ages, but mostly old people. I think it was actually pretty representative of like the demographics of the U.S., where it's like the young people are maybe actually a minority, and most of the people you see are maybe age 50 to 70. Yeah, just very interesting, you know, and the whole old people love to just talk with young people and just be like, they even love to like get in our dance circles and just kind of feel young again and all that stuff. Like, but you know, they got Social Security, they got a pension, they don't got to really worry about much. They're clocked out at this point. They're not gonna starve. They're not gonna go broke. But yeah, Broomstick, I'm gonna sign out here, keep this sub 20 minutes. But I had fun at the wedding. I would go to another. We'll see if any of my friends who have fiancés or whatever invite me to more. This one was pretty special because it was Catholic wedding, and I did enjoy that and the whole experience and good people around me. It was nice.